So following on from the last podcast where I spoke about the true nature of evil, and that the ultimate truth of evil is that it's the shadow aspect of mercy, where mercy seeks to destroy and annihilate the source, well, not even the true source, but the perceived source of suffering. And so if we believe that God or a higher power is the source of our suffering, then evil is what manifests. And the outward manifestation of that is to annihilate whatever that unseen authority is. To destroy whatever that unseen authority is. You know, whether you're someone who's being, whose country is being occupied by another country, evil is what manifests. And it will manifest as an authentic desire to annihilate the source of that suffering. Nothing you can do to stop it. Nature arises. Same thing. If you believe God is the source of your suffering, but you also hold a fear of that God, I mean, that is where things start to get really twisted. Because the evil that's manifesting within you, that has an authentic desire to destroy the source of its suffering, being an unseen God. How can you annihilate that source of suffering when you can't even see it, you can't even feel it, you can't even touch it? And so the battle in that scenario is between good and evil. Because evil seeks to destroy all that is good. That is how evil seeks to annihilate God when it's unseen. And so we've all seen people who seem to be triggered by joy, seem to be triggered by having fun, seem to be triggered when other people's energy gets big, when they express from their power. Other people want to level the playing field. They want to destroy that. It triggers them. They don't know why. And that's why people who stand in their power all the time, when someone who is holding a belief that God is the source of their suffering, when they sense the presence of that power within someone else, then they take it out on that person, seeking to destroy the source of their suffering, always. As an act of mercy, nature just arises. You can't stop it. Your perception of the source of your suffering will trigger mercy, and mercy is relentless and it is ruthless. So that raises a lot of questions, and a friend of mine asked me quite a few questions after listening to that last podcast. You know, and I get it, because it seems like there is this power. There is this power, and even you can, by the way I speak and the topics I talk about, they go into spirituality. And so surely I must believe in a power greater than myself. And I just want to distinguish between two things here. There is a power, of course, absolutely, that is much, much greater than myself. But that's much different to perceiving an unseen authority that has control over my life, that is seeking to punish me. Very, 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 very different perspectives. And so the best way I can describe it is to share a metaphor. And that metaphor is of a human body. So I could be going about my life and God knows what's going on within my body. No pun intended. With my liver, with my kidneys, with my heart, my bones, the cells in my blood, the plasma. What's going on? What's happening with that stuff? It could be anything actually happening. You see, me as the consciousness of this entire body, of the mind and this body and the spirit, the hybrid of all three. That's what I identify myself as. Now, I cannot control my liver. I have absolutely no control over my liver. It is totally sovereign. But I'm a power much greater than my liver, surely. Of course. Of course. But I still can't control it because it is sovereign. It is free. You see, this is the beauty of nature, is that everything is symbiotic. The fact that my liver is following its nature means that I'm thriving, or at least have the opportunity and capacity to thrive. I couldn't get my liver to change its nature even if I wanted to. I have no power over it. It is sovereign. It is totally free, but we are entirely interdependent. You see? But all we're doing is following our nature. My liver is busy being a liver. All of its cells are busy being whatever the hell those are. My bones are busy being bones. The marrow is busy being marrow. I have zero control over any of those aspects of my body. You see? So me, as the power that's much greater than the sum of the individual parts, I still have no control over the individual components. I still have no way to control them. And so you can see from this perspective, you realize that you're free. Yes, you are like a cell within a greater body. And that greater body is much more powerful than the sum of the individual parts. But the individual parts within it are all free. They are sovereign. And by following their nature, they are totally free to wield their power and their gifts in the way that they like. I mean, I don't exactly know what the function of the liver is and how it works, but however it works, whatever crazy alchemy that goes on, those are its gifts. And it's free to express itself using those gifts. And there's nothing that can stop it. Nothing. That goes the same for every tiny, minute cell, every stem cell. Every single aspect of us is following its nature, expressing its uniqueness. And the profound and beautiful result is that I exist because of it. So you can see that interdependency, it exists. Extraordinary diversity of trillions of uniquely individual cells working symbiotically together, following their nature. Just by following their nature, it's enabling me to have the experience I'm having now. I don't control any of it. But the harmony of all of those aspects of me is enabling it. I mean, when you really understand this, the beauty of it is it's pretty hard to process. You just can't believe that something has evolved to such a state that this form of conscious awareness is available. This form of expression of what existence is. This is how evolved it has become. And so what I would say is that stop thinking of it as God. My liver doesn't worship me, I can promise you. It doesn't worship me, especially after a night out. It's not worshipping me. But it probably thinks I'm punishing it. But you see, it doesn't. It's just following its nature, adapting to its environment. And this is how everything in life works. There is no power greater than you that has the ability to control you. It is only your nature that influences you. And for you, that's your genetics, your DNA. What's contained within your DNA, it contains the perspectives, the assumptions and beliefs of your ancestors. Absolutely it does. And so there are unseen influences in your life because of what's contained within your DNA. But you are the only one that has the power to influence your reality. You're the only one. Because it's only when something in your reality is not to your liking, it's an obstacle to you realizing higher and higher states of consciousness and realizing higher and higher potential of who and what you can become. When there are barriers to that, it's just a state of inner disharmony of your own consciousness. Once that's reconciled, harmony will be outwardly expressed, and then you can continue following your nature. Yes, it will cause transformation, but it's the shift in your consciousness that alters what outwardly manifests. It's that there used to be two parts of you internally that were opposed. One part that wanted to express its authentic truth on a large scale to the world, and another part of you that is terrified of being persecuted. You reconcile those aspects. You understand the nature of both, and that understanding leads to harmony. So it's all about an inward journey. You know, when you reach a state of awareness where you know that everything in your environment is a projection of your inner world, then why would you bother living your life like it's a game of chess, trying to move external pieces, trying to move this here, and if I move that, and if this person only said this to me, then I could this. If this person would only show me that they love me, if this person would only show me that they care for me, if I only got this job opportunity, if it would only rain today, if it would just snow, if these people were just different, if the government was just like this, if my workplace was just like this, and you just create all these conditions upon living with meaning, when the truth is all you need to do is reconcile the parts of yourself internally that are at odds with each other, and then the harmony that you actually want to experience in your life will just outwardly manifest. As above, so below. It's the same with human beings. You know, we've evolved to such a state where through some, it's just extraordinary that human beings have the potential to become, and this is a term I don't use lightly, God realized. But what I mean by that is that you realize that there is no God. You realize that you're the creator. You realize that you're creating absolutely everything, and everything is a reflection of your state of consciousness. Everything. And I would say, if you wanted to breed a culture within your environment that is conducive to elevating yourself to higher and higher states, it is to be continually challenging your assumptions until the truth emerges. And when you work from the truth only, you can really live with meaning. You can really live with meaning. And I can promise you that the ultimate truth, beneath everything that you think is a major issue, mainly negativity, negative emotions, negative thoughts. I mean, my biggest, I don't like giving people advice, but I think if I was to share with someone, if they wanted to know what's the best way to approach an experience that we don't want to have, it's to lean into it completely. Understand it, seek to understand it, the truth of it. What is this really showing me about myself? That I'm evil, that I'm abhorrent, that I'm powerless, that I'm useless, that I'm worthless, that I'm insignificant, I'm invisible. Because you are all of those things, because you came from the primordial substance. That's where you originated, and you've evolved into this state where you are now, where you're so highly evolved that you can discover the truth of who you are internally, that you came from the primordial substance, that you existed as a state of awareness, of isness, before you even became aware of a state of I and a state of being, and that I am, and I am that, and I am that. Realizing higher and higher states of awareness. You find it all within yourself. And when you know the truth of who and what you are, you realize that you are just part of a body, one ginormous, extraordinary, unbelievable body that is just following its own nature. And in the same way that if I want to pick up my glass here and take a sip, I don't ask my hand or my fingers to do it. I just wield my power, and it is done. That's how you have the opportunity to live your life, because you're in total control of absolutely everything. Understand your genetics, understand how it influences your external life. Realize how you can utilize your internal life in order to manipulate the external life. And manipulation is actually, a lot of people don't like that word, but if you've got a lump of clay, you manipulate it until you can see what it is that you want, until your vision for what that piece of clay could become is realized. Manipulation is, don't you want to manipulate the world and bend it to your will? If you hold shame about that, reconcile it, because the reality is, and the ultimate truth of everything is that every human being wants to bend their reality to their will, because we all want to receive what it is that we want. And the truth is, ask and it is given. And when I say ask, asking is not asking God or some higher power. Asking means to command it, because you know that you're not asking to receive it. You're actually becoming that. I am that. I am that. I am a human being who is empowered and in control of their life. I am a human being that's enjoying states of harmony and bliss and joy. I am a human being that is not ashamed of what it is they want. I am that. I am that. I am a human being that is a hybrid of a mind and a spirit and a body working together as one. And so as the liver inside the greater body, just be a liver. Utilize your full potential to become the best liver that you possibly could so that you can thrive. Understand your influence, understand your power, and just wield it to your will. And never, ever ask some unseen power or force for help. Never. Because what you're expressing into the universe is the energy that something else controls you, that something else has power over you. And it just doesn't. Unless you say it does. Unless you believe it does, and then it does. And that's when you'll feel oppressed in your life. You'll feel bullied. You'll feel people trying to make you small. You'll feel imprisoned. And that feels like the right place to end that. So hopefully that's shed some light on understanding, God. and the true nature of your power. Okay, that's it for now. Catch you soon.